Everyone, nice to see you all here today, celebrating Giridhari and Chintamani's amazing wedding. For those who don't know me, I'm Padma, Giri's best man. Giri asked me to be his best man and I felt honoured to say yes. I've known Giri for a few years now. He's asked me to talk today about how great he is. I can honestly say he's handsome, brilliant, funny, a real great dancer, and what did you write there, Giri? I lost it. I can't read Giri's writing, sorry. We'll continue. It may not look like it, but I have some very important information on marriage. Chintamani, if you could put your right hand on the table, and Giridhari, put your left hand on top of her hand. I was told this is the last time ever you'll ever have the upper hand. So make the most of it. Okay, now let's get into it. Married life is so easy. It's just a walk in the park. The problem is, that park is Jurassic Park. Giri, never laugh at Chintamani's choices. You're one of them. Marriage is a relationship in which one person is always right and the other is the husband. Maths after marriage is simple. Giri, you have $20, Chintamani has $5, Chintamani now has $25. If you want to be happy with a man, love him less and understand him more. If you want to be happy with a woman, love her more and never try to understand her. The most important words of a successful marriage is, I'll do the dishes. And always treat your life like a princess, your wife like a princess. Talking about princesses, how amazing does Chintamani look today? She knows that she's always reminded me of a Disney princess, and today it's more than ever. I'm truly happy for you, Chintamani. You have so many fantastic qualities and such a sweet nature. And I'm sure you and Giri will be a force in Prabhupada's army. Okay, Giri? I thought I would start with a quote from Babaji Maharaj. A Vaishnava wife is extremely rare and difficult to find in this world. If one has the good fortune of having one, he should see it as a benediction from Krishna. Giri, growing up I would often look up to spiritual figures of the world in awe and reverence, amazed at their lives, amazed at their qualities they embodied, and amazed by the love of the Lord. Fast forward years later, and I now get the association of such personalities as yourself. I myself have very little good qualities, and any good qualities I have come from great souls such as yourself, who encapsulate so many divine qualities. You're a rare soul, Lord Chaitanya's foot soldier, always looking for ways to glorify the Lord. I love how kind and generous you are. I love how supportive and encouraging you are to me and others on their journey. Over the last couple of years, you have been like a brother to me. Long bouts of service or difficult times, you've always been there for a good chat or a long hug. I really appreciate that. I'm really going to miss our chats at our doorways before we go to bed. And who's going to laugh at my jokes now in the ashram? I'm definitely going to miss our lounge room pastimes. Those who know me well know that sometimes I end up in the lounge room floor for up to a month due to stomach problems. Early last year, I'd gone down with a stomach illness. And after a few days, when Giridhari walked past, he desired a sweet of some description as usual. Giridhari loves sweets, by the way. Laying on the floor, I pulled myself up and said, I have sweets. Hobbling into my room, hand on my stomach, I reached into my cupboard for some 6-month-old milk sweets from New Mayapur, France. I handed them to Giri. The next day, he was laid out like a wounded soldier in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. His face was as white as the moon, and he couldn't move a muscle. It was that moment I realised I poisoned Giridhari Prabhu. But the following days were ecstatic. We could barely move, but we were happy in the lounge room pastimes together. Giri, I'd like to take this moment to say, I'm really sorry for poisoning you. I love how we always talk about pushing Srila Prabhupada's movement forward. Talking about Prabhupada and Giriraj is one of my favourite pastimes with you, even though most of the time you can't understand a word coming from my mouth due to my Australian accent. I love doing Guru Puja every day with you, dancing in ecstasy, and I pray that one day we can go to Govardhana Hill together. Giriraj Maharaj Ki! Your eagerness to read Srila Prabhupada's books is so inspiring. You lead by example, and I know you inspire many more to study Srila Prabhupada's books. I thank Krishna every day for giving me friends like you two, Giridhari and Chintamani. So to finish up, I would like to congratulate you both and wish you a life together in Krishna's service. I pray that I continue to get both your association, and I love you both dearly, and I wish you all the very best. Always keep Krishna in the centre, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So that wraps up the speeches for today, which will move us into the Prashadam. Prashadam ki jai!